You now are listening to the audio podcast of Prisoners of Hope, the antidote to what ails your heart. I'm your host, Dr. Debbora Whitson. So come on in, pull up a chair, and open up your mind as you get ready to receive the download that hope will bring. Well, hey, welcome to the Prisoners of Hope podcast, and I am your friendly guide, Dr. D. And today we're going to continue to the last part of our interview with my husband, Edward Whitson, as he describes his journey from chaos to calm and his journey throughout life and why he has such a calm demeanor all the time. So listen up.
And I think the biggest challenge that we have is most people don't surround themselves with people that are thinking larger than they are.
Yeah,
And you know, the word always talks about, you know, for lack of vision, my people perish, right?
Paris, you're right.
And probably the biggest challenge is, you know, we're talking about the goal setting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you got it's like if you take a marble and put it in front of your face, right? If you put it right in front of your face, it blocks out quite a bit past the marble. If you put that marble a foot about from your face, then you get to see everything. You can hardly even see the marble.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But if you have a huge balloon in front of your face, you can't see the crap that's in front of you.
That's right.
So if you make the dream, your vision, your goal, whatever it is, so big that the crap cannot affect you.
Oh, yeah.
And you want to know how my calmness comes? Because I make sure I keep my vision so huge that I can't see the problems.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They can't stop me.
Okay.
And that's why God tells us to focus on him. He's infinite. The problem is we don't internalize that.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about it. I internalize it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why don't things bother me? Because I internalize that. He gives me the strength. Because if I focus on him and his power, I don't need to worry about nothing.
That's true. That's true. That's a majority. You and God is a majority. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And he said, "What I have a day for you, let no man take away, take asunder, take asunder."
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
You
If
can't.
he's ordained it for you,
It's going to
no
be.
man can stop it.
That's right. No man can stop it.
So, you
No
know,
man.
I mean, we get into this thing all the time. You know, oh, I can't, you know, I can't stretch that far. I can stretch that far. I know it drives you nuts, but I believe. And if God's put it in my heart, that means it's already done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's your
It may
favorite.
not happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
It never happens when I want it to.
Yeah. No, never does.
He's brought us from tragedy.
Yeah, he has. We've gone through a lot of stuff with our children. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't want us to dwell on that.
No, we don't.
Yeah, I've carried you through it.
Mm-hmm. Carry us through it. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
why should I worry? He says 365 times in the Bible, fear not.
We're
Boy,
not.
kind of funny. That's 365 days in a year.
Yes. Fear not,
Well, if
for
he
I
said that
am with
365 days, I mean 365 times is 365 days in a year. That means every day, fear not.
fear not, for I am
So
with
why should we fear? Why should we walk in? He tells us, do not walk in the spirit of fear.
you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
We
definitely
don't
one of
need to.
it's definitely one of Satan's tools. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but people
Mm-hmm.
let the fear consume them. I refuse
Mm-hmm.
to have I have a God that's greater than the fear. I don't have to fear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't I know you get on me because I worry. I don't worry about nothing.
No, he doesn't. Guys, yeah, he doesn't. It can be irritating sometimes because I say, what about this, that? And you're like, well, I'm not worried. It's going to work out.
I need not worry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number
Well,
one, 95% of the things you worry about ain't gonna come
It's not
true.
coming true. Not gonna come true. You're right. That's
Okay,
true.
and the 5% left, make half will and half won't. So
That's right.
you got 98% chance everything's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
in your time, but in his time. His
In
time
his
is
time.
always perfect,
Right.
you
Right.
know?
Not in our time, in his time.
Mhm.
Well,
But we have
that
to be the example though, like, like the boys.
mhm.
You have to be the example of that stoic nature
Mhm.
because they're looking for us for guidance, right? In the midst of chaos, and they've had plenty of chaos,
Yeah, they
they're
sure have.
still gonna revert back.
Mhm.
They need a calm rock, just like Christ is our calm rock.
Mhm.
We have to make sure that he's Christ gave us the example.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty cool hand Luke through it all, except for the traders on the steps of the temple, buying and selling. About the only time he lost his cool. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
he lost it because of the he was chastising, you know, the
Pharisees
the
and
Pharisees, the Sadducees, because he was
right.
telling the people, the Romans aren't your problem, it's those people over there, the apostates, the false prophets, and we got a lot of them today,
Yeah, we do.
a whole lot of them. We got the quote unquote, we got the segregated churches and all that stuff,
Mhm,
and those
mm,
are false prophets, and they've, you know, just like man's religions,
mhm,
the Pharisees, the Sadducees, there's the old saying, the past is never the past. It's always present. It's the same today as it was 2,000 years ago. We have the same problems, the
mhm,
same people, the same, you know, false prophets, the whole 9 yards, misleading people. And there's a lot of religious people going right to hell, and they're leading a lot of people with them.
mhm, mhm. Well, as the passage says, narrow is the passage that leads to life, and few will find it. The Bible actually says that few will find it. Very few will find the narrow path that leads to
But the
life.
Proverbs tells us how to live,
Mm,
right? 31
yeah.
Proverbs, 31 days
Mm, mm,
in the week. He said,
mm, mhm,
um, to seek wisdom, wisdom and
mhm,
discernment, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
most aren't seeking that.
mhm,
They're seeking their own satisfaction.
mhm.
Um, they get hung up on being hung up. I'm going to compare myself to others and all. We don't need to do that.
Yeah,
That's
comparison.
a fool's errand,
Yeah, it is.
and I refuse to participate.
Mhm, mhm,
I just won't do it.
mhm,
And whether it upsets people, I know it upsets you sometimes. I don't really care. There's nothing I can do about that. I just got to make sure that I'm living uh, for Christ, and by my actions, people
mhm.
will know you, right? That's what the
That's
word
right.
says, by your actions.
By your fruit.
And
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
and you can't get good fruit from a bad fruit tree and bad fruit uh, from a good tree, right?
Right,
Each
right.
fruit will reproduce after its own.
Mhm,
And so
mhm,
your thoughts are the same way. You can't get a good thought from a bad
mhm,
thought from a good thought. So
mhm,
why focus on the bad crap?
mhm. That's right.
Focus on the good stuff,
Mhm.
you know? So that's it goes back to that and all the stuff we've gone through.
Yeah.
We have to go back to foundational principles
Mhm.
because you can't have clarity in your brain if you're focused on crap.
Yeah, that's right. And there's a lot of crap to focus on these days.
Yeah.
The Bible talks about in Revelations that in the end time, people who were liars, who were fakes, will be revered, and people who tell the truth will be persecuted. Um, Seems like that's where we are now. I
Yeah.
mean, it just seems like I and it's so funny because the Bible tells us this is not our home. And the older you get, you begin to feel that. You watch the news, you go, "What are they talking about? What are they talking about?" You feel like I think about our mothers who are both gone. Both our mothers have passed away, and I think about if they were to be brought back today, they wouldn't understand anything. They wouldn't understand anything. So your mother's been dead how many years?
Boy, I don't
Um,
remember now. It's been
well,
a
my
while.
mother's been married 15, your mother's probably 17
Yeah,
years, 18
it's
years.
been a while.
It's been a while, and, they wouldn't understand. They would be totally a fish out of water as quickly as things change. But you were talking about something that's real interesting. You were talking about it's the same stuff. And Ecclesiastics tells us there is nothing new under the sun. There really isn't anything new under the sun. I mean, just look at
Well,
Hollywood. Look at Hollywood producing the movies and the television shows. You know, one reality show makes it, and then you got 100 reality shows. You're like, really? I mean, stop it. Nothing new under the sun.
yeah, everyone thinks everything's this first time the world. The problem is that society run by Satan tells people that the world started with them,
That's right. That's right.
and that therein lies the challenge. It's like I tell people all the time. See, most people, especially in this country, they don't appreciate the price that was paid. They weren't around during World War II when kids were leaving at 17, 18 years old to go fight
Mhm,
for the country. They were
mhm,
mobilized. Korean War,
mhm.
Vietnam. I
Now what?
remember my brother leaving.
Mhm,
I remember them bringing him back 6 years later in a casket.
mhm,
So I know the price that was paid
mhm,
for a war we shouldn't have been in and when we left.
mhm.
And so that drives me to honor him because he paid the ultimate price with no expectations from
Mm,
anybody. He just
right.
felt that it was his duty because he saw my father leave in World War II.
Mhm,
And so, he understood when my father left. Well, he didn't see him, but I mean, he understood that my the greatest generation fought a war that they had no idea about.
mhm,
You know, uh, a boy that left at 17 years old from the country of Memphis. I mean, literally, where he lived in a sharecropper shack with a
mhm, mhm,
a
mhm.
floor and that had critters looking at him at night,
Yeah.
through the floorboards. From that to a Navy ship getting sunk in Pearl Harbor,
Wow.
you know, and, you know, I'm sure my father probably suffered like a lot of those people from World War II of PTSD, now that we understand what it was, but I mean, you
Mhm,
can't even imagine
mhm,
you're getting shot, your ship getting blown up in the middle of some place and you're thinking it's peaceful and you're just having a good old time and the whole world is going crazy.
mhm,
So I think we need to get back to what, like our coach out here at the college says, keeping the main thing.
mhm. Keeping the main
And
thing the main.
and we get so hung up on being hung up.
Uh-huh,
We got
uh-huh.
people, that are constantly promoting, uh, racism
Mhm,
and segregation, and they
mhm,
want, people focused on that, and so they could take advantage of them on the other hand and mess them all up, and they
mhm.
lose focus and lose sight on what's really important, see?
That's
And
mhm,
I think as a country, as society, we had to get back to the main thing, which is we need to focus on God
mhm,
and get back into that, and
mhm.
everything else will work out.
That's
Y
right.
Love God with all your heart, soul, and might, and love your
Mhm.
neighbor as yourself. Now, if we had those 2 things there,
Wasn't that
we
the
would have
golden
no
rule?
issues.
Isn't that the golden rule they were supposed to teach them,
No,
and
that's God's principle. If we get back to those
yeah.
principles, the
Mhm,
biblical
mhm,
principles, we'd solve the
mhm,
problems that we
mm.
have, but we
That's right.
gotta we have an enemy that wants to make sure that we stay off of
Sure.
that focus and stay on this
Mhm,
other crap. And so
mhm.
we got all this stuff that's enticing to us, with
Right.
all the shiny bits. You can be famous now. You got technologies that was telling them that, hey man, you can be famous. Just go out there, expose the world to your life, and you'll be famous,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
stand a chance of getting killed because someone's jealous of it.
Or, I have a friend because I dance Zumba, but I have a friend that actually is a performer, and she was telling me that people she's had stalkers, and I'm like, "Oh god." She said, "It's I'm just doing my job, and I get these weird people," and she said, decided to stop posting on the internet, on the social media because of it. Seems like it was promoting that type of behavior. Yeah, she was talking to me about that the other day, and I was like, "Wow."
Oh, yeah.
She and she goes, we're nobody. We're just a dancing crew, you know. We had asked you to join us, and you just dancing, and then all of a sudden we have stalkers. I mean, what is wrong?" So, I don't know. Just amazing.
Well, no, that's the society telling them that they need to be famous because they don't have a foundation. And
Mhm,
without that foundation, you're gonna be lost. And you can keep chasing after these little shiny bits,
mhm,
and you're gonna be lost. And
mhm.
so we have to be grounded. And that's why I know you get mad at me sometimes, but I don't care because if I if I lose that stability and just think of it like a ship floating out there in storms, right? Well, that
Mhm.
ship is trying to find someplace a safe harbor.
Right.
My job from a biblical perspective is to be the safe harbor, the calm in the storm. Somebody has to have the wherewithal to be the calm in the storm,
Mhm,
and I got
mhm.
to set the pace. And and I look just to keep the vision in front of you so that you don't worry about the rest of the stuff because the rest of the stuff can't harm you. It can't.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You can lose it all today, and it's irrelevant
That's
because it's
right.
all temporal.
Mhm, mhm.
It has no meaning,
Right, right. That's so true.
and that's a
You know
hard place for people to get to. They
well, you
it
know,
it it
it
takes a lot.
it takes a lot, and I think it takes certain losses in your trauma in your life to really realize it, because I think after my mother passed, I thought, this stuff that she, treasures so, it's all left behind. It's all I remember at the funeral home, I made the undertaker uncomfortable because my mother she had cancer, so she knows she was dying, so she had picked out her casket, and she liked the blue, and so it was blue, and the blue had, like, drawers in it, but sh my mother wasn't interested in putting anything in it, she just liked the color. So the guy at the at the mortuary said, "Oh, would you like to put her rings in there?" And you know what I said to him? He said he never forgot that, because years later, after my father passed away, he remembered me. I told him it didn't work out well for the great kings of Africa. And he just looked at me because, I mean, how do you know they're gonna be buried with those? They can't use them in their afterlife. Look at the great kings of Africa. They were buried with a whole bunch of people, including people who are alive, buried with them. And all the greats were robbed. All of it was, it's basically means nothing. And
We're
I
just
think
a vessel. That's it.
yeah, this is a vessel, and here for a moment, I have to remember that you are dust, as the Bible said, here for a moment. I mean, so it really, I think it really, really hit home because there was so much that, she really valued in her life, but it was all left behind. I had never seen a U-Haul left behind a hearse. Never.
Well,
Doesn't
I
doesn't
like
doesn't happen.
I think you know, there's things that are put here for our enjoyment to have fun, to
Mhm,
experience. We all like nice houses, nice cars, and all the rest of it. And those are great. They're all just tools. That's all they are.
mhm,
But when we make them the God, that's when the problem comes in.
yeah,
God's a jealous God.
right,
Yeah,
he
he wants us, he said, beloved above all things, I want you to prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So he wants us to enjoy nice things because
mhm,
it's
mhm,
all his. So,
mhm,
you know, why our wealth, things like that. Well, the goal is share that in order to share him with people. Not
mhm,
the thing, but
mhm,
to share his message, right?
right,
So we have to look at that and again, keeping the main thing the main thing.
right,
That
right,
that's that's the ultimate goal. But no, we're sons and daughters of a king, so he
mm,
obviously wants us to have, uh,
right,
things to enjoy that, you
right,
know, but we gotta keep the perspective, and I think
mhm,
that's a tough balancing act for most, is
people,
to keep that perspective because the world keeps telling you, "No, no, man, you gotta have this, you gotta have that," and you got to show everybody. It's like, except it's like, I don't want a waste of a ceremony and all that stuff. We're
Mhm.
dust. Just,
Right.
go ahead, turn me into dust, throw me out in the desert, throw me in the trees, throw me in the ocean. I don't care, you know, because we already know the end game. It doesn't matter where we
Right.
are, what we
Right.
are.
Right.
Here's a thought for people to think about.
Okay.
Christ showed us exactly what was going to happen, exactly
Mhm.
what we were going to experience if we followed him.
Right.
It's called the Great Resurrection.
Right.
He died. He was entombed for 3 days.
Mhm.
And in those 3 days, his spirit went to Hades
Hades, yeah.
because he had to do that to show them the truth, to let people
Mhm.
know that you're going to be here forever. But he also gathered up the believers prior to his
Mhm.
um, crucifixion.
Mhm.
But then he came back, and he had a glorified body. His body was glorified, reconstituted, glorified,
Mhm.
and then he went up.
Then he went up. Mhm. Mhm.
So he showed the world this is what's going to happen.
That's
So
right.
what that does is that eliminates any fear you have. If you believe in him, any fear you have of this mortal life, you don't need to worry about it. You will be reconstituted in a glorified body that will never leave his side, ever. A glorified spiritual body in
What you
absolutely perfect shape.
keep the main thing the main thing. Yes, yes. Well, Ed, I really appreciate you spending this time out of your busy schedule to talk to me and to talk to my audience, and, I'm sure they're going to be blessed as they listen to this whole interview. God bless, and thank you.
You're welcome.
My hope is that this journey has been fruitful and you're able to take it and apply it to your life. Until next time, tune in again for the Prisoners of Hope podcast. God bless.